letting the kitten pick the next movie. Come here.
So loud.
Have you picked? Do you have one in your mouth? Can I have this? Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
she
I
does.
think you have two. Double feature. Oh
my god, she's so...
Luna has picked a movie, and it is so undercover. No, Luna, you already picked a movie.
she's too good at her job.
I got a Fredo.
Oh, there he is, handsome man.
Oh yeah. No, he's been on my lap the entire time. He's settled down and was just like, I'm staying here now. So, Mr. Fredo, Mr. Fredo,
he's so handsome.
You look so upset, but you chose to be here.
Look at those little peanut whiskers.
At this rate, every single one of our episodes will start off with us talking to Fredo.
I hope so. I have a feeling. I mean, it's his new routine. He's confused because it's Saturday, not Sunday, but...
Are you ready to talk about Midsommar?
I gotta say, I expected more. And I was a little disappointed.
Really?
I thought it would be weirder. But I think that so many people were like, oh my god, this movie was so weird and so fucked up. I was expecting a lot.
I did very much see the horror from the get-go of, the narcissist boyfriend... Mm-hmm. And the kind of emotional abuse that was going on, and I was just like, oh, I've lived through this.
Yeah.
Not quite on the same level, but I very much did see the horror in that. Mm-hmm. Which is why I kind of ended up liking the movie, not for the horror aspect, but more for the burning your...
Spoiler alert.
Well, at the end of the movie, she does kill her abuser, or get him killed, so I was like, oh, that's nice. This is actually a feel-good story.
I will say overall I liked it, and actually I looked into it afterwards and kind of watched some interviews and stuff, and I thought actually there's a lot of cool aspects.
I actually genuinely didn't realize that there was a director's cut up until you mentioned it yesterday. I kind of delved a little bit into it and I was obsessed, but also at the same time this movie is 2.5 hours long already, so I understand why they cut it down, but it's true that some of the scenes that were in the director's cut did kind of shed some extra light. In case it wasn't clear, we're talking about Midsommar. Is it said Midsommar or Midsommar?
I assume Midsommar.
Midsommar from 2019, directed by Ari Aster, and starring Florence Pugh, Jack Rayner.
Florence Pugh.
Love
I
Florence
love her
Pugh.
so much.
Wilhelm Blomgren, and William Jackson Harper. Would you like to attempt to give us a briefish summary of this movie?
Yeah. Florence Pugh, the wonderful Florence Pugh, who we love, is in a horrible relationship with a horrible man and has a sister who is a bit unhappy, to say the least.
Say the absolute least.
To say the absolute least, and after a horrible, horrible tragedy, and all of the things that go with it, her horrible boyfriend reluctantly, begrudgingly invites her on a trip to Sweden with him and his horrible friends.
His anthropology student friends.
One of which is a really weird Swedish guy. One of them is a research guy who wants to write his thesis, and one of them is a raging misogynist with absolutely no merit at all.
The kid from Toy Story.
So they go to Sweden for the weird midsummer celebrations of the Harga people who live in a kind of weird community, not cultish at all. And shit just gets weirder and weirder from there.
And then everybody dies.
A lot of people do die, yes. The people that I was rooting for to die died, so that makes me happy.
Which is why I was saying feel-good story.
Feel-good story. Yeah.
That is a deeper synopsis than I would have said. I would have just been like, Americans go to Sweden, join a cult, die.
Pretty much.
I have to point out, it is very difficult to talk about a horror movie with this boy.
The emotional support, Fredo. Oh, that face.
He looks so distraught. No Fredos are harmed during the recording of the podcast. All Fredos are here voluntarily. The movie starts with Danny, who is Florence Pugh, pulling up everybody she can think of because her sister left her this very cryptic message. ends it with like goodbye, and also says, I'm taking mom and dad with me. So clearly, she is losing her mind. And her boyfriend, who she calls for support, is a piece of shit.
Completely dismissive and horrible
It's
and
just like,
unhelpful.
but she always does that. Please listen to mentally ill people when they send cryptic messages.
The thing is, people will be like, "Oh, it's just attention seeking. It's a cry for attention," and it's like, well, yeah, because they're suffering and they need support and they don't know how to ask for it otherwise. I feel like saying like accusing someone of doing something for attention when they're clearly mentally ill is
Yeah.
like really just shitty, and I don't know, like.
It's like, at the same time, it's also, yeah, but they kind of need attention. If they're crying out for it, maybe they need it. Maybe somebody
Right.
needs to be like, hey, something actually needs to be done.
Just the opening scene and we're already getting really deep. To be fair, I actually found like that opening sequence like one of the most disturbing parts of the movie.
Devastating.
Like stuff that comes later is like maybe visually more disturbing, but that hit me far harder emotionally.
This is a horror movie, and a lot of people were like, oh, this isn't a horror movie. And it's like, no, you just don't understand like the actual horror of the movie. For the entirety of the movie, I did feel like it is some more like psychological and emotional horror than like some fucking gory Saw kind of horror. I think that the opening sequence does, in fact, it really sets us up for the tone that the rest of this movie is going to have.
I watched like an interview with Ari Aster, and he was saying like he went through a breakup and he wanted to make a breakup movie, and he liked the structure of like the folk horror genre, so he basically wanted to make a breakup movie with like a folk horror kind of structure, and that was his kind of basis for the movie, I guess.
I wish I had known that, like, the first time I watched it, because the first time I
Yes.
watched it, I didn't actually finish it, because I was kind of going through, we weren't fully broken up yet, but I could tell that my partner was kind of checking out, and I knew that his friends were also kind of telling him to leave me. So when I watched this movie, like, the first time, I kind of stopped halfway through because I was like, this is too, this feels too similar to my life. I should have kept watching. I would have felt so much better. I think I would have left.
The actors also do like a really good job.
They
I mean,
do.
Florence Pugh, we know Florence Pugh is amazing, but her like she really conveys how that feels. I mean, I've never really been through anything to that like that similar in the way you have, but you think the way that she puts the emotion across is very. It feels very real.
She really does convey emotions, like, so well. For support, she calls her boyfriend, who is entirely unsupporting. He's actually just too busy getting high and having pizza with his buddies to actually care about her. She then calls another one of her friends about that. She's like, oh my god, I'm alienating him, I'm being so awful. The boyfriend is at a pizza place with his buddies, and they're all telling him to leave her. They're just like, she's just drama or whatever. She's awful. Just go bone other people. There's like 17 women in this pizza place that you could be impregnating right now, and it's like,
I had a lot of notes about the friends. Specifically, I don't remember his name. Will Poulter's character.
Mark.
Mark. Yeah, it's like a whole sequence of notes. Mark sounds lame AF, sorta hope he gets eaten or something. Okay, never mind, he's not lame, he's a prick. His friends
Yeah.
are awful too, I hope they all get eaten. He's making me so mad.
I also wrote down that he was dishing out like a lot of therapy buzzwords. I don't remember them off the top of my head now, but I think he was saying a lot of stuff that was just kind of flipping over the narrative, like, oh, she's the one that's actually emotionally manipulating him and doing stuff and yeah, stuff like that. When the more the movie progresses, the more we see that it's actually Will who's doing that to Danny. His name is Will, right?
I have no
What's
idea.
the Christian?
Yeah, Christian, that sounds right.
Will is Will Poulter. Danny ends up calling Christian her boyfriend again, and she is fucking sobbing. I can't even imagine what the character must be going through at that moment, because it turns out that her sister has actually died by suicide and also taken her parents with her with carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
Obviously, Danny is distraught. Danny's life is on pause for a hot minute.
Oh yeah.
She cannot cope. Very understandably so. Harsh cut, kind of, oh, my parents have died. And then her boyfriend is like, hey, I'm going to a party. Can I help you?
Yeah, there's like a time skip in there. I'm not sure.
I think it's a couple months, yeah.
Yeah, like.
Sorry, I have a gremlin.
Oh, a thief, a vagabond,
She was
a little
trying
bandit.
to like tear up my chair, but she actually just wants snuggles. Christian wants to go to a party, and Florence Pugh, Danny, is like, yeah, I'll go with you.
He doesn't seem to want her to, but
He doesn't
he
seem to want
takes
her
her
full stop.
anyway. No, he doesn't.
Danny discovers that her boyfriend is actually leaving for Sweden in 2 weeks. He tries to pretend it was just an idea.
Yeah, like I'm not. I might not go.
Meanwhile, they've been talking about this for months. They 100% already have the tickets and everything.
At some point, someone was talking about meatball sex clubs, which I assume was Mark. I've written that meatball sex clubs question mark exclamation mark along with ugh, these guys suck and ban men. Oh, and the Swedish guy is a fucking creep because he is
a creep. He's trying to play it off as this like, oh, I'm a nice guy, but he's not. I wrote down that the boyfriend is a bad liar and a gaslighter and that I hate this man. But he invites her to come along for the trip. But he's like, oh, she's not going to want to come. So I'm just inviting her so that I can say I invited her. Plot twist. She does in fact come along. I also wrote down that this man is actually awful to his girlfriend, to his friends, to everyone around him. But I think this is kind of the first moment we see it because he's inviting Danny to a trip, assuming that she won't want to come along. He's also not telling his friends before inviting her.
Mm-hmm.
I still think his friends are shitty, but either way, it's shitty of him to do that to both parties.
My next note is upside down driving, #cinematography.
Yes. We do have to specify that this movie does have amazing cinematography.
Yes.
The director of photography did an incredible job for this movie.
It is very aesthetically pleasing.
It's
very nice.
And I think that's also one of the more jarring kind of horror effects, because usually you see a horror movie, you expect it to be like dark and gory and like claustrophobic kind of. Meanwhile here we're in like broad daylight, wide open spaces.
Yeah, I saw that in an interview. I think the actor who played Christian, whose name I've already forgotten, Ariasta, was there too, and Christian was saying usually it would be in the dark. It's like, ooh, scary, but you know, you can't hide. It doesn't get dark. It's midsummer.
Yeah.
Beautiful sunny weather, wide open spaces. It's really well done. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it as well.
You do still get this feeling of claustrophobia. Here you're in this wide open field. You'd think that, you know, you have all the freedom to leave, but really you don't. So like the claustrophobia is more within you. Imagine having 2 cats on your desk while you're trying to record a podcast. So Florence Pugh decides to come to Sweden with them. Also wrote down, do we think Will Poulter is gay for the boyfriend?
I could see that. I could actually see his character being like a closeted gay guy with like a lot of internalized homophobia. Like the way that he's like so overtly misogynistic in the way that he talks about like just let go and screw a bunch of hot Swedish girls. But it's also
not just screwing. He's actively talking about impregnating women.
I know. It's so gross.
So they arrive at this cult.
Community.
If it quacks like a cult and walks like a cult.
It's like a cult. I noted that they drove there for 4 hours in a tiny Renault.
It does have to be awkward as well if you're like...
The one girl.
Right, the one girl with your boyfriend and his 3 friends who hate you.
Creepy Swedish guy introduces them with, these are my friends from America.
Maybe it's because I've consumed a lot of true crime. Anywhere where everyone is dressed in white and the first thing they do is offer me shrooms, I am leaving.
Yeah, I don't think I would take the shroom.
Literally cult 101.
You'd think the anthropologists would have noticed.
You would think. Don't do drugs with people dressed like Jared Leto.
Maybe I would be the idiot that does take the mushrooms. I wrote, unironically, I think Midsummer mushrooms sounds like a delightful time, though. as long as Mark isn't there.
To me, it sounds like absolute hell.
My next comment was, yeah, that's a valid reaction to a festival bathroom, which I think is when she did start kind of freaking out because they were all on mushrooms and she kind of ran off.
And she was
went
only
off
on
her
like this
own,
kind of tea, so she wasn't even fully. But yeah, she does run off, and I was just like, somebody needs to be with her.
But then like the creepy Swedish guy shows up and he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "They're laughing at me." It's like, they're not.
I also did know, why does no one think this is weird? Because even with cultural differences, cult will still be a cult. You can tell when something is culty.
You would think so, but then like a person that you trust has brought you there. Like I think from the outside we would all be like, this is obviously a cult looking from the outside in, but in that situation, if you've gone there, someone wants to do research, someone who you think is your friend has taken you there that knows things.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could see that maybe it could be easier to fall for if you're
I also wonder whether us being European, growing up in Europe, and having some vague understanding of the different European cultures, without knowing much about Scandinavian culture, we can still kind of clock that this is outside of like the normal realm. Whereas in the States, it's just like, which kind of does make it easy to prey on them in a way, because the friend did prey on them. He brought them there for this specific purpose. Where he was just like, well, we can just excuse everything because it's Swedish.
You heard it here first, folks. If you want to start a cult, get the Americans.
But yeah, I do think there is this kind of separation where we can be like, hang on.
Yeah.
I don't know much, but I know this is weird.
I just came for the meatballs. Why is there?
I was told there would be Raskogs.
Unironically, I have 3 Raskogs within arm's reach.
Fucking love a Raskog.
We do love a good Raskog.
The rituals and the weird screaming are just too weird.
Oh, that's funny because I wrote the dancing and screeching looks fun.
I mean, it does look fun.
2 types of people. You're just like reasonably skeptical. You would survive, I would not.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is great. Let's all get high and scream together. I see nothing wrong with this. Meanwhile, you're there like, for fuck's sake, Alex has joined a cult.
See, unfortunately, I, again, have read and consumed a lot of true crime media. The Swedish wouldn't get me.
It's not that I haven't. It's just that the idea of dancing around in a circle screaming with a bunch of other unhinged weirdos just sounds like too good an opportunity to pass up.
Hear me out. I have a perfectly good living room. We can do that here.
I'm in.
Okay, let's do it.
I've also written, I hope all these men die.
I noted that her boyfriend also runs off with another woman at some point. On her birthday.
Which he forgot.
And then tries to make her feel bad for. I also wrote, not the Playmobil Sacred's temple tent. Because there's like this house, this yellow house, and it just looks like a Playmobil structure just in the middle of the field.
Again, going back to like the cinematography, because the colors are so bright and vibrant. And it's like, it's bright yellow in the middle of the sunshine, and yet you get such a creepy vibe from it. Like, the colors are all quite warm, I think.
Most of them are, because there's...
Usually, like, horror movies are like, okay, we're using, like, the cool filter. Everything's dark and spooky. And here, it's just bright.
Bright and green, and there's yellows, there's reds. They're covered in flowers half the time. And you still get this ominous feeling. It shows that it's actually so well made because the unease surpasses the easy horror tropes.
Yeah, you really get that sense of foreboding.
And then I did write bear in a cage. We should really be addressing that. But they're just like, no, that's just the bear.
We're just walking past this bear in a cage. No one says anything.
Did you like notice that the banner was like the story that they were telling? Which I found was so cool.
Yeah.
It's like a little love story, and it's just a woman cutting her pubes and collecting period blood to feed it to the man she's infatuated with. And that is like a love spell. As you do. I have never done that. Maybe that's why I'm single. Then they are all shown where they're going to sleep. And they are sleeping in the single unwed loser house.
It's pretty much exactly it.
The house house itself is really nice, but you basically sleep with everyone from ages 0 to 32 who is not married. It's basically just like a massive dorm room.
And it's also like another big wide open space. Again,
Yes.
like there's a lot of that.
I would not be able to sleep in a big
No, I
wide
would
open
hate
space.
it. I can't do that. I need a big bed, but I need to be able to scrunch myself into one tiny part of the big bed. I'm literally
Yes.
a cat.
My bed is like 180 by 200, and my cats have never scrunched themselves up ever. I am the scrunched one. None of them are scrunching.
My only like note about that scene is scissors for the baby! Exclamation point. Because they're like putting scissors under the baby's pillow. And I never quite figured out why they were doing that.
I didn't even notice that.
They were like these two girls putting a pair of scissors under the baby's pillow. But I don't know why. If it came up again later, I didn't catch it.
I just wrote that as a 30-plus-year-old, I would hate to have to sleep in a massive room with a baby that isn't mine. It's not just that you're sleeping in the same room as literally everyone under 32, but you're also expected to take care of this baby and all the other children that are not your children just because you're unmarried.
It is a bit weird that like people have babies and then they get put in a big room with other people who are not the baby's parents.
Yeah.
But then it is a weird Swedish
I
cult,
guess
so.
it plays into the whole we are one family
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
We move on to, I guess, like a mealtime. And I wrote, I guess it's one of their runes, but this seemed like a really inconvenient table shape.
It does, doesn't it? It's really, like, everyone has to kind of look awkwardly around.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like a diamond. And then from that diamond, there are two more tables like this. And also everyone is sat on like one side of the tables. So it's just like pew 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 pew. And the weirdest table shape. This whole scene / ritual / everything that comes along with it was something.
Yeah, this is why I say maybe I'm desensitized, because, I mean, it was fucked up. But hello, Fredo.
He's like fucked up, you say?
So let's go through it. My first comment was, I bet they're all secretly eating pube soup.
They might be.
Followed by casual mid-dinner demonic possession. Fredo.
You're just hosting this podcast.
Fredo is the host. He's a good boy.
I wrote for this scene that I find the weird heavy breathing very unsettling.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I really, really hate it.
Same. So we have this very weird, potentially puby dinner with the unsettling breathing. And then we move on to the post-meal ritual, where we go to this overwhelmingly white
Cliff. Like a
cliff.
face.
Yes.
The old people that were like speaking and breathing,
Yes.
leading the dinner basically. Like,
Yes.
They all had to wait to sit down until they showed up, and like they were kind of like the important people at the dinner, and they get carried off, I think, in chairs,
I believe so, yeah.
and they get taken to a cliff.
They get taken to a cliff. And then they throw themselves off the cliff. And it is very jarring. The woman immediately dies, splats her face, looks
It's
horrific.
you get a solid shot of her like.
I know
split
that
open
it's
skull.
fake, but also at the same time I was like, holy fucking shit. The guy doesn't quite die, so they have to splat his head with a mallet.
I'm sorry, I've seen too many messed up like horror movies that are kind of gorier than that, and I was laughing with the hammer. The way that they all just rocked up with the hammer and took it in turns. I know it's not funny.
No, I know what you mean, because I was also there kind of like, oh.
It's like so ridiculous that
Yeah,
you
then they
have
come
to-
with this massive hammer, and then there's like
giant.
one guy hitting it, and then the other guy gives it to another guy, and then they're also hitting, and they're kind of swapping it, and then they like hit him multiple times with this absurdly long hammer. And it's just like, oh no. It was awful. This is also kind of one of the moments where I was like, okay, something about this is off, because I feel like the Swedish guy up until now, he is a little bit creepy, but we also kind of get the feeling he's in Daddy's corner.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sort of moment where I'm like, hang on, if he really was, then he absolutely would have and should have alerted her, who's just lost her family in the most tragic of ways,
Mm-hmm.
that this was going to be happening. And he doesn't. And he knew this was happening. Obviously.
He even says, sorry, I didn't warn you. Okay, why didn't you? Like, why
Yeah.
didn't you say something? Fucking hell.
I was already kind of weirded out by the whole cultiness of it, but that's when I'm kind of like, okay, this is
Something's off, yeah. I mean, like,
something.
something's been off the whole time, but, like, oh. We also haven't mentioned, was it Connie and Simon? The
Yes.
only
Oh,
two
true.
rational characters in
Yeah.
this movie who freak the fuck out when these old
They
people
do.
go off the cliff. Like, even Danny is just there, like, oh. And you can kind of imagine, like, with what she's been through, she's maybe just stunned into silence. But, like, you know, like, none of these horrible men that she's come with say anything.
I absolutely agree with you. I did write down that one couple who are freaking out are the only sane ones around. I was also thinking about this before. Connie and Simon are also European. They're from England. So I guess it also comes with they probably had like this healthy dose of, we know more or less what is culture and what goes beyond it. Whereas I think like the Americans, they're also just like, oh, well, here's our friend telling us this is normal. This is just Swedish things.
And then like Cult Mommy also goes after Simon when they're kind of running off.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, this is our tradition. It's our culture. I would be happy to do that when it's my turn, kind of thing. And Simon's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And the creepy Swedish guy also tells Dania when they're having their little conversation, when she's like obviously upset because she's just watched people die. He's like, sorry, I didn't warn you. He also says that his parents burned up in a fire.
Yes.
Which is like, ooh.
That was so weird. He's like, oh, but we're the same. And it's like, we are not the same. Because I'm assuming the fire was an accident, I hope. Honestly, given these people, who knows? But your parents dying in a fiery accident, yes, tragic. Not the same as your sister killing herself and your parents.
Yeah, not quite. No.
I think when his parents died, he was very young. Or at least I get the impression that he was a child. Meanwhile, she was a fully formed adult with, like, thoughts and a very real conception of what was going on.
Yeah, it's fucked up. My next note, because this actually bothered me quite a lot, more than it should have, and it's like a complete tangent, is at the beginning, someone was, like, they were traipsing through the woods, and one of them was going, like, oh, tick-borne encephalitis. Then for the rest of the movie, they're all just sitting around in the grass in dresses, and I'm like, you said there were ticks. You are going to get tick-borne encephalitis, and you are going to die. Wear some trousers, at least.
My next note was actually Christian once again proving what a bad person and friend he is by stealing his friend's thesis subject.
I know! Unbelievable.
Awful. And I like how he's not going up to his friend and asking whether it's okay. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to be doing this. You brought me here. I know this is what you want to do, but I'm going to be doing it.
It's a shitty thing to do.
Because in the director's cut, the friend, he's just like, I taught you how to use JSTOR. And that is just like the biggest academic burn. Oh my god. I wrote down, cult guy is creepy and culty. Mm-hmm. And then in parentheses, fork found in kitchen. And then cannibal barbecue. Because because I guess they take like the sacrifices. I guess they burn them. This is another thing that was kind of director's cut versus theatrical cut. But I think that they burn the bodies on like the kind of barbecue. Then I wrote down the singing and wood chopping combo gave me Monty Python and the Holy Grail vibes. 'Cause it really reminded me of, there's one scene where there's like priests going like and then they just like smack themselves in the face with a plank of wood.
Yeah, true.
In the end, it is decided that Christian and the friend can both do their thesis on the same subject. His name is Josh, apparently. So Josh and Christian end up needing to like share their thesis, and it's just like, I don't understand why. Meanwhile, the Swedish friend, he's like, oh, but Christian asked me beforehand. But it's like, but you knew that Christian didn't know. You all came with Josh. Or like, you and Josh and the others joined you and Josh to do this thesis, and you knew that Christian didn't know what he wanted to do. But, I mean, he's also an awful person. Clearly, he lured them. And then, yes, at that moment, Mark is pissing out in the open on a sacred tree. I was so annoyed because it's like, yes, okay, sure, you don't know that this is a sacred tree. For all you know, it is a dead tree. Why are you pissing out in the open?
Men.
I'm assuming they have lavatories or of some
Well,
kind.
they had a bathroom because Danny had a meltdown in it earlier.
Yeah,
No, I know that it's very easy for men to just whip it out and piss wherever they want to, but I really think we should not normalize it.
No, we should not.
We should normalize keeping it in your fucking pants.
At the very fucking least, like, go into the forest that was 3 feet further, hide behind a bigger tree, and then pull your dick out. Why are we pissing in the middle of a field when everyone is there?
My only note on this was, are they going to kill Mark now, please? We'll see.
In the meantime, Connie and Simon are trying to leave because they are the only sane people out there. And unfortunately, Simon abandons Connie. Or so we're told.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was not enough space in the truck for 3 people.
Yeah.
Connie was like, well, why couldn't I sit on his lap? And the guy's reply was, we don't break traffic laws. We don't break traffic laws. We just kidnap people and then shove them off cliffs.
I think what we also missed that I wrote down is someone asks about, like, inbreeding.
That comes up later. I did note it. I have thoughts about this. We move over to Christian, who is asking questions, I guess, and someone tells him, like, yes, jobs are assigned based on the traits that we show as children. To which I note, what would we be assigned?
I would love to know that. Like I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Like,
I think we would be court jesters.
I would be an amazing court jester. I think we would be fantastic court jesters. Somebody get me a jingly hat.
Or we would be tasked with kind of writing down the story of the cult, and I'm basing this exclusively on us writing Aragon What Really Happened during science class, and Mr. Hamilton coming up to us and being like, oh, you're writing! Go ahead. You don't need to pay attention to science.
You guys don't need science. You're artists.
Then I write Christian showing once again the emotional maturity of a plastic bag, because Annie comes up to him and she's like, hey, Simon just abandoned Connie. And he's just like, oh, wow, that's so bad. Anyway, do you guys have any issues with incest? The guy was like, oh, we don't do incest. But then Josh is talking to the other guy. They're looking at that special magical book. The like kind of guru guy is just like, oh yeah, no, our oracle writes this, he predicts it. And Josh is like, oh well, how do you pick the oracle? And he's like, our oracles are the product of inbreeding. So it's like, okay, well, one of you is lying.
Yeah. I wrote like that they invite outside people to mate. Brackets, how romantic is what he said they did. But yeah, I don't know. It's not very nice, I guess.
It is not. A very uncomfortable moment.
Mm-hmm.
My next note is not the pube in the pie.
Mine was lol is Simon in the pies. Because I guess when Danny was like invited to help them make the pies, and she asked what they were, and they were like meat or something.
They might have been. Oh my god!
And I was like, no, he wasn't, because
because we see the bodies later, but for a second there,
and he's still alive. But I was like, oh my god, is it Simon? And then I wrote, I hope it's Mark. It's not Mark.
He's not dead yet.
It's Mark. Yeah. I wrote like, oh, it's not Mark, sad face, when Mark showed up again. And then I wrote Christian's has extra pubes in it.
Yes. Because he got love spelled.
He got pube souped.
Mark gets led off mysteriously with one of the cult girlies.
And because he's a stupid big dumb man, he thinks he's gonna get laid, and that is the end of him.
Yeah. I don't know who it is, but I wrote down shoes in the bed. Because I guess someone goes back to lie down in bed with her shoes on.
It was Josh, the thesis one.
Josh. Okay.
It was Josh because he had plans.
He
wanted to sneak off.
Oh, right, yes.
I don't care if I'm planning to sneak out in the middle of the night. I couldn't do it.
No.
I could not wear shoes in my bed. I can't even wear outside jeans in my bed. I just can't do it.
No. If I were to sneak out, I would get like a pair of like very loose shoes that you can just like slip. No. I would rather go out traipsing in Crocs.
These are my sneaking Crocs.
Go to... They're in sneak mode. I would rather wear
Super
Crocs
secret agent,
than wear my shoes in my bed.
I'm imagining James Bond.
I hope that they are the Lightning McQueen Ka-chow Crocs. My next note is that a Mark mask?
I know. What did I wrote? What did I wrote? OMG, did they cut off Mark's face?
They did. Meanwhile, Josh sneaks in to the Playmobil tent house. He is taking pictures of the Oracle book, and they kill him.
He gets killed by a guy wearing Mark's face.
That's true. It is a shame that they killed Josh because he seemed like the only actual semi-decent one.
Semi-decent, but he was still a bit of a dick. He was less of a dick than the others, but he was still complicit. At no point did he say, "You guys are fucking assholes."
Yeah. I don't remember him, like, actively shitting on Danny, but...
No, but he also didn't, like...
He was also not like, hey guys, she literally just lost her entire family in a really tragic way, so maybe let's not.
I feel like he was just quieter than the others.
I guess he was also, like, more focused on his thesis. I think then Danny mentions that she hasn't seen, like, Mark or Josh or Simon or Connie at this point. And she tells that to Christian because I wrote down that he says, I'm not too concerned. And it's like, of course you aren't. You don't care about anything but yourself.
I guess they say the book has gone missing because the guy confronts...
Yeah, they're like, oh...
Christian? And Danny, I don't remember if they're both there.
I think he's like, oh, your
them.
friends disappeared and the book also disappeared, so clearly.
And Christian, being Christian, is like, we don't associate with people that do things like that. I would never. Kind of throws everyone but himself under the bus.
I think this is where I wrote, Christian is such a rat, I hope he dies next.
I have to be honest, I was rooting for all of these guys to die for the whole movie. I really hated all of these men.
Absolutely. I think this is where the next ritual starts, the one with the dancing and the flowers. They're given what I'm assuming is mushroom tea again. I wrote, because the last time she drank tea, it went so well for her. At first, she's like, oh, I don't want this. And they're like, no, it's fine. And then my next note is every time Christian is on screen, I have a new reason to hate him. I guess this is where he goes to talk to the old woman in the...
Yeah.
Where he's just like, I think this one girl put a love spell on me. I ate her pubes.
Yeah. Danny gets, like, taken off to play this weird dancing game.
Yes.
And I think it's weird Swedish friend that's like, Cult Queen wants to see you.
Yes.
And he assumes at first that she wants to chew him out because the book's gone missing. And she's like, yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Do you want to have sex with this girl?
They know it hasn't gone missing.
Yeah. So, and he's like,
he's just like,
did I eat one of her pubes?
She's like, sounds right.
She's like, yeah, could be.
Probably.
I wrote that I didn't understand the dancing game because they're all just like running around in circles around the maypole screaming and laughing and dancing.
And then I think it's like, if you lose balance, you're out.
Okay.
But also at the same time, they all want Danny to win.
Yeah.
I think this is made more clear in hindsight, and especially if you've like gone back to look at the director's cut scenes, and you can kind of tell from the get-go that they were gearing up to crown Danny as the May Queen.
The May Queen, yeah.
I did note that I love the celebratory jazz hands from where Danny is crowned, because I think everyone just goes like, every coronation should include jazz hands.
I think so.
I would have enjoyed A Christmas Prince a lot more.
The royal jazz hands.
If there had been jazz hands. Christian looks like Danny being crowned is the worst thing that has ever happened to him.
Heaven forbid.
Heaven forbid.
I hate have any semblance of success.
Heaven forbid something not be about me. And you would think, right, that if he really wanted to write his thesis about the Harga and their midsummer celebrations, that he would be like, oh my god, my girlfriend was crowned May Queen. This is amazing. This is perfect. But no, he's like, no, how dare something not be about me?
I don't want Danny to succeed. How dare she be the Cult Queen?
I want to be the Cult Queen.
I want to be the Cult Queen.
Then I also wrote, like, how many fucking tables do these people have, and where do they keep them?
Right.
I mean, I guess that they arrange them in, like, different constellations every time, but at the same time, it's like, how many fucking tables do you have? Because...
there's so much we don't know.
So much we don't know.
That's what they should write their thesis on. How many tables do the Harga have, and
Absolutely.
Where do they keep them?
I also wrote down, I love the guy who's just clapping in Christian's face. What a mood.
I've written, ew, and the creepy guy kissed her, and why is the food moving?
Yes, because she has to eat, like, this fish, just like...
True, she has to eat, like, a whole fish.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be good luck, and it doesn't, and everyone is like, oh, this
Everyone's
is so
like,
funny.
haha.
So funny.
Americans suck.
I also wrote down, like, are they not concerned that literally everyone else who wasn't part of the cult beforehand has disappeared? I understand why Danny doesn't care about Mark and Josh.
Hello,
Can I help you? But you would think these are Christian's best friends, and he's just like, it's none of my business. I want to
at the
fuck
same
that hot
time,
redhead.
we've established that he doesn't
Yeah, and this
care
is
about
what
them.
I've been saying. Christian is an awful friend.
So Danny gets carried off to
Yes.
do May Queen things, and Christian is led off somewhere else.
To have sex with that one girl.
With that one girl. My notes just say, oh no, lol, what? Mark would probably be into this, followed by, meow.
I also wrote down meow meow. But I have to say that has got to be one of the awkwarder sex scenes I have ever seen.
I think it was supposed to be.
Yes?
This scene did, like, sketch me out, and I have seen people debating if it's, like, rape or not, because Christian is, like, given drugs, is off his tits, and doesn't really at any point consent to it. He just gets led into a room with this really young girl, kind of on the floor
that's also
in
a thing. Like,
flowers,
it's not
and then a bunch of other
specified how
naked women.
old she is. Other than, she was recently granted that she's old enough to have sex, which really could be
like
anywhere between
what are their
12 and
criteria?
18.
Yeah,
like we don't know what the
she
criteria
looks very
is.
young.
She does look like 14, 15.
Yeah, everything about that scene sketched me out.
On one hand, it is like, the build-up is kind of like Christian does in fact want to have sex with her. But also the way that the actual thing happens is just not entirely clear how consensual it is.
Like, I mean, even if he did want to, I feel like that whole setting with, like, an audience of...
I'm also like, how are you getting it up? Because, I mean, I myself don't know much about personally getting an erection, but I feel like if there were 12 to 15 women naked around me just kind of going meow.
No! It's not very arousing.
I don't think that me personally, I would be aroused.
We don't know what else was in the tea, though. Could have crushed up a Viagra tablet.
Hey, have this tea. It's just mushrooms. And why is it blue?
Well, he drank the lemonade that was suspiciously red when everyone else's was normal lemonade color, and he was just fine with that. He was like, alright. He got a tail! There's a weird sex ritual. Meanwhile, Danny's doing May Queen things. And then comes back and hears the weird sex ritual and wants to go and see what's going on because she can just hear whatever
sex sounds and meows.
Sex sounds, because like these like naked women that are standing around are like
breathing and huffing,
making
and,
sounds,
there's a lot of
like
sounds.
yelling and howling,
and then she runs off into the accommodation and she starts basically having a panic attack and everyone starts touching her.
I would hate that.
I actually wrote like, the amount of people touching her during a panic attack would be my 13th reason.
I wrote the group screaming is a mood because they all join in with the panic attack.
Yes, they did, and I did write the scream cry session seems totally therapeutic though.
It seems great. It seems like incredibly cathartic, with minus the kind of crowding around and touching. I think that like, screaming together sounds like fun.
I have a living room.
So I watched another video with Ari Aster where he broke down that scene, and basically the idea was that the group of girls screaming and Florence Pugh, Danny having her like panic attack, and the way they were screaming was kind of meant to echo the kind of sounds coming from the sex ritual. And he also said that he commented on Florence Pugh's acting because she obviously, you know, went up to the keyhole and looked through it, and he said that he offered to put something there for her to react to, and she just did it without anything. She had that like amazing emotional response that with just like whatever was in her imagination. I don't know.
I also think that scene has a much deeper meaning, especially when you look at the director's cut. There's this scene where they want to throw the kid in the river. You see Danny at one point, she's just like, stop. And then hi Fredo. And then Fredo, come on. And then when she says stop, you see other people around suddenly being like, stop, no, don't do it anymore. They were waiting for her, and it kind of implies that, first of all, she was already chosen from the get-go, but that they were also led by her. So then this scene kind of echoes that. It's just like, oh, she is in distress, so we are in distress. And I feel like that's also a very powerful scene in that sense.
When Christian runs off, when Christian
But yeah,
is
afterwards
finished,
he runs off
he
naked.
runs
doesn't he?
off naked and ends up in a chicken coop where we finally find out what happened to Simon, who is still alive.
I was unsure whether he was still alive or not because
was,
he
you could
looks. Yeah, but I was just like, do they have like maybe a thing? Because he looks very much dead. I did write, lovely coop decor. It's an acquired taste.
I think it's called a blood eagle. It's like a thing. You can look it up on Wikipedia.
I don't think I will.
Yeah, maybe don't, but it's a thing. It's based on something. I think he was alive, but his internal organs are mostly not inside his body anymore.
External organs.
It was an interesting way to decorate your chicken coop, like you said.
Yeah.
And then I've written Torbjorn ha ha ha. I don't know why. I think someone was called something similar to Torbjorn.
I don't remember his catchphrase now. My next note is, I feel no remorse for Christian. They can have him, they sedate him and kind of paralyze him, and somebody tells him you can't speak. And I wrote, perfect.
Good. Good. We are glad.
And then, so they're kind of just like spinning this kind of lotto wheel.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you know what? I mean, you do you, but it's weird to me that this was on like your list of priorities of like what we need in our cult.
It's like a bingo thing.
We need a yellow ritual Playmobil house, and then we also need a bingo wheel.
I love it. For context, they are choosing the like final few sacrifices they need for their ritual. So they're saying like, you know, we need however many of us and however many outside people, and we've already got the 2 old people that threw themselves off the cliff. So they needed 2 more, Horga, and they were like, oh, you know, we need some outsiders. Luckily, creepy Swedish guy and his creepy brother brought us some.
Also,
you.
Christian is basically
catatonic
in a wheelchair, watching this all unfold. And Florence Pugh, Danny, has her iconic Florence Pugh sad face, which she's just like really. I can't even
Pugh
do
is
it.
Stunning.
She is stunning, but she
Florence
makes
Pugh, but
when she's playing someone who's sad or upset, she has this very iconic face where she is literally the sad face emoji.
Yes.
And it's brilliant, and I love it. And she's really just like staring at Christian.
So I think there's
can't
like
even do it.
There's 2 volunteer Horga, and then they have the bingo wheel to choose. Like the last one has to be picked by the May Queen, and it's like one of the outsiders, or
there's only one outsider left.
The bingo wheel.
Yeah.
Will select a random Harga.
Yeah.
And Danny gets to choose between this random person and Christian.
Yes.
My verdict was in all caps, good choice, sis.
Yeah, I don't think I commented on that, but I fully agree with her.
She picks Christian, if that hadn't become clear.
Obviously.
I've seen people saying that a lot of people think that Christian didn't deserve to be sacrificed. And I felt like, am I a bad person? But I'm reassured to know that you agree with me.
Hey, I have experienced some of the worst that men can do to women, and I feel like Christian is one of those potential men, so...
Stuff him in a bear suit and burn him alive, I reckon.
I actually wrote R.I.P. Bear, the real victim in all of this.
The bear had it rough, yeah. I think, like, it gets stuffed in that tiny cage and then skinned.
Between Florence Pugh's sad face and R.I.P. Bear, I wrote, suddenly having a phone and internet connection doesn't seem so bad. Because this is what happens when you don't. Then I did write, the ending smile is such a mood.
All of the sacrifices get put into the Playmobil wigwam kind of deal, whatever it is.
A-frame house, and then they burn it.
House. And then they burn it. So there's like, you know, the people that are still alive and the people that are dead. And the 2 Harga that are still alive obviously are getting burnt alive and are reacting accordingly. And outside, because they do this weird thing where they kind of react with people, they're all like running around screaming and flailing as if they're getting burnt alive. And I wrote that pretending to get burnt alive is also a mood, followed by, this is what I imagine theatre camp would be like.
I feel like
definitely is.
If we could 100% not be sacrificed and or crowned May Queens, this could be fully therapeutic.
I think like there's some elements of this festival that looked like
maybe-
an absolutely wonderful time.
Maybe we just need to go and run in a field screaming.
I think we should. I think we should
Let's
do that. Let's try that before we resort to joining a cult and
Okay.
ritual sacrifice. Let's try
We should.
non-murder options first.
Oh.
We'll work our way up. We'll see how far we have to push it. So yeah, so there's this sequence, and Florence Pugh, I think it's just like a close-up of her face,
it
right?
ends up and she's just smiling.
And she looks
she's-
really sad at first. She's doing her Florence Pugh sad face. And then gradually...
And then she's like, oh wait, Christian
like
is...
the most
being burned
beautiful,
alive.
joyful smile. And she looks so genuinely happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've written, conclusion, the world is better when you burn men who wrong you alive.
Yes, so I wrote that I watched it the first time when I was at the end of a relationship where my partner was looking to break up with me and cheating. His friends were also encouraging him to leave me, so I stopped watching because it felt too personal. In hindsight, I really should have kept going.
You got the only man you need right there.
This is the only man I need.
Fredo would never do something like that.
But
It's
yeah.
an interesting perspective, actually, because a lot of what I read on the internet is like, this is a movie about joining a cult. You can see they've indoctrinated Danny. Christian didn't deserve that level of whatever.
Deserved all of that and more.
Yeah, so it's actually a different perspective that you're bringing. Christian is actually a shit person.
He
He
is
actually
awful.
is as bad as that. I liked it, overall. I do wish I'd known going in that it was kind of...
2.5 hours long.
Well, I mean, I could see that when I pressed play.
You would think, and yet I didn't.
I just heard that it's like a weird horror movie, and I was expecting more weird horror, and I
Well,
wasn't
yeah.
expecting it to be to require so much thought.
I think we were both expecting, when we hear weird horror, we're thinking...
I wasn't
horror.
expecting to be intellectually challenged, but
Yeah,
I
always
was.
expect to be intellectually challenged. No, I'm just kidding.
But I like that, and I liked that it stuck with me afterwards, and I actually, now that I've had a couple of weeks to kind of process and think about it and look some things up, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool, actually.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. I think this will be my new breakup movie. Big yawn, Mr. Fredo.
It is a really good breakup movie as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what Ari Aster was going for, and then he delivered. Like, especially, like, when you know what he was trying to do, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
No, I gotta say, in hindsight, yeah, absolutely. I should have kept watching back in 2022.
And I will definitely be watching more of his films, I think.
Yes. My final verdict was would throw handfuls of popcorn whenever Christian is on screen.
Mm-hmm. And Mark.
Yeah, but I feel like he's inconsequential. Because he's just
Yeah, but
he's just a guy.
awful.
He's Whereas Christian is Danny's partner and they've been together for almost 4 years, and it's like you should not be acting this way towards her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also he's just shit all along. And at least Mark doesn't seem like a bad friend.
As far as we know.
As far as we know, but in the little that we do see, he doesn't seem like a bad friend. Whereas
No.
Christian definitely seems like a bad friend.
Yeah.
He's done everybody dirty.
Yeah. What's my popcorn related verdict? I don't know. There's some bits where it would be a bit too grisly to eat the popcorn. I think I would actually be sitting there, like, quietly eating my popcorn, trying to keep up with what's going on, except for when people are eating pubes, because I don't want to think about eating pubes. You know, like,
Yeah,
you get a
that's-
little bit of
that's
dust
weird.
in your popcorn, and it's like, oh, pube popcorn. Do we have any
Oh,
closing
wait,
comments?
yes, I do have
Do
reviews.
you
Hang
have
on.
Reviews? Yes. I forgot to look for reviews, but
I remembered last night to do them. And I like how these reviews, you can really tell who was like watching this with in mind like horror and then was disappointed, and then who actually understood the movie. Hang on, I'm gonna need to put my glasses on for this.
oh, it's getting serious.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so this one is from November 29, MS, 1 star. Oh my god. All I could think at the end was that I'll never get those wasted hours of my life back that I spent watching this utter dreck. Possibly the worst movie I have ever seen. Stay away from movies directed by Ari Aster. Which is giving like, oh, okay, so
Can
you
you
didn't
reply?
understand
Can
it.
can we reply to the... Because I think we should recommend The Family Stone.
I think they would love The Family Stone. Then from November 25th, we have Faith C, also 1 star. I give them props for the editing and scenery of the movie, but the whole movie is confusing, slow, not much happening, and stupid. I Okay, slow and not much happening, yes, but I think you're missing the point. Then what do we have? We have half a star from KM, November 22nd. This was quite possibly one of the most idiotic, offensive, and boring films I've ever watched. It certainly should cause offense to the Swedes, although Florence Pugh puts in a stellar effort and immediate supporting cast is fair. This movie is too long and too stupid. The inane and artless choreography of the people of the commune crescendos at the film's pointless ending. The only thing truly horrifying about this movie is that it was made and critics have praised it. And then, okay, so this is a 5-star one that I found quite funny. So this is from November 16th by JV. Beautiful coming of age story, where a young girl finds a place of love and understanding amongst a murderous cult.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
4 stars, but the review is nice. Creepy, cold, effective, nihilistic. Yes.
So, like, not every film's gonna be for everybody, right? Like, not
No.
everyone's gonna enjoy everything. But I do feel like if you go into it with the wrong criteria, which, like, at first I did as well, if you're looking for a kind of silly, weird horror film where people die in stupid ways, that's not it.
I'm actually seeing another review here where it's 1 star and it's like unlikable characters, nonsensical behaviors, and dull pacing build to a silly, underwhelming climax. And it's like, but that's the point.
Yeah.
The characters are unlikable. Their behavior doesn't necessarily make sense because they're dealing with a cult.
Mm-hmm.
And the pacing is purposefully slow to give you that sense of unease. So it's just like, clearly you didn't understand. And Not to say like, oh, I understood the movie better than other people. I do have, yes, it's funny with friends.
He's like, Mommy, where are the pets going?
I will concede to having a different kind of take on the movie given my personal experiences that not everybody has, which I think is great because I don't wish all of my experiences on everybody. Mm-hmm. But sometimes the villain isn't some guy in a mask and a chainsaw.
No, so good. Do we have a snappy outro? We haven't figured out a snappy outro yet.
We will see you soon with So Undercover.
Snappy outro. Oh, he's so good. Oh, he looks so upset. Oh, those eyes. Mother, why?
No Freddos were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Look at that face! Oh, beautiful boy.